as of the 21st of this month. I signed
It shows the dark side of Philippine history. No, I don't think that you can, up to now, you can compare the massacres, summary executions, the tortures, and the killings that took place under martial law to any administration.
Kaya naman kami na hinuli noon ay hindi namin alam kung bakit.
Yun daw bata, sabi ng mga kapitbahay dun sa Antipolo, inilaglag ng isang army helicopter. Pero nung bumagsak, patay na, although mainit pa raw ang katawan.
So ngayon, nung naging mas controversial, so dinala siya noon sa Leyte at doon, nilibing, nandun nga sila sa nandun. Pero ang naging kasi noon, kasi may iniwan siyang sulat. Ito na nga eh. Ayaw ko eh.
$, merienda lang ni Imelda ito sa New York. Para bang huwag mo naman kaming insultuhin. Bayaran nyo kami ng sapat dahil karapatan namin yun. Diba? Yung amount na to, cannot even buy my soul. The pain that, wala.
It reminds the Filipino people that there was such a time as martial law where there were massacres, there were killings, summary killings, because the people fought for democracy against dictatorship.
Nung kaya naman kami na hinuli noon ay hindi namin alam kung bakit. Ang ilalakad lang namin kasi walang ilaw, walang tubig doon sa lugar namin sa Tatalon. Ay sabi may mga mga subversibo na daw yung mga tao doon, yung mga samahan ng mga nanay. Napasukan daw ng mga NPA.
And then he was arrested. The first arrest is December. And that was the mass arrest at that time. Very, very much scary. And then what happened? So, na-release din siya. Ang situation here in Manila, very scary because at the time he's writing already. And then sinabi niya sa akin na it's useless to write in this particular time kasi wala kang freedom eh. So how can you write the article that you wanted? So parang shut off do. So naghanap siya ng paraan, then nagkaroon sila ng parang secret na mga parang menograph na mga letters para lang in order to release all the what's behind that situation, and very, very much scary at the time.
Noong January 25, 1985, madaling araw nang ideklara namin yung Welgang Bayan. Medyo lumalaban tayo kasi yung takot na kasi noong mga panahon na yan marami yung napapabalita na kapag ikaw ay nahuli, malaki yung posibilidad na mawala ka na.
Very bright boy siya. Talagang mapapagkatiwalaan. Hindi siya aktivista as claimed by others. Hindi siya okay. May mga tumatawag sa telepono at ang sabi iti-treat daw siya, magdi-dinner daw sila. Masaya pa nga ho siya sa telepono kasi sabi niya sa akin, makikita ko si daddy ko ngayon.
Yun daw ang sinabi sa kanya. Makikita ko si daddy ko ngayon. Dumating ako, wala siya. Hinanap na namin siya ng hinanap. Hindi namin siya nakita talaga. Yung huling tawag ng mga sabi, kidnapper sila. Wag na wag daw ipapaalam sa pulis. At kung ipapaalam daw, papatayin nila yung bata. Yung pala, patay na. 17 days later, nakababad sa yelo sa Funeraria Pilipinas sa Makati. Yun daw bata, sabi ng mga kapitbahay dun sa Antipolo, inilaglag ng isang army helicopter. Pero nung bumagsak, patay na, although mainit pa raw ang katawan. So, army helicopter ang ina-emphasize nila.
Yung brother ko, no, yung eldest namin, so he was 20, I think he was 27 or 26 when he was arrested, no, sa Samar. Nag-aral sa Cebu, San Carlos Seminary, diocesan priest, no. Tapos doon siya nag-assign sa Samar, which was then the hotbed of insurgency. Siya very vocal against the militarization ng Samar, against martial law. So ngayon, siguro masyadong mainit na that time. Tapos he was celebrating the fiesta sa bayan nila. Ano yun, October 4, St. Francis, no? Hindi ko makalimutan. He was arrested then, right there and then after the mass, no? So when he was arrested, he was in prison doon sa camp sa Catbalogan. He came from Pasay with his military driver. Two of them, tapos he was on the driver's side, dalawa lang sila. Yung driver, galos lang, kasi nag-turn turtle daw yung sasak. Pero to make the story short, based on yung investigation, medical, or what's that? Yung autopsy. He was something had happened before he was put in the car. Kasi ganun din yung style yata before nung may namatay na ganun ding style before. Kasi may iniwan siyang sulat. Na nga yung ayaw ko Alam ko rin.
This is the first time, I think, in the history of the global community, human rights community, that victims of human rights violations have actually won a class suit against a tyrannical dictator, if you want it. The victims won a judgment from a federal district court in Hawaii, and the judgment awarded them $1.9 billion. Now, syempre, suntok sa buwan yan, Paano mo naman kukunin yung $1.9 billion? After 25 years of persevering struggle, the attorney Bob Swift and, of course, Rod Domingo and the rest of them were able to get a settlement from real estate owned by Marcos, given to his crony, Jose Campos, which was situated in Colorado and Texas.
Ito daw, pag-recognize ngayon sa mga nangyari sa mga Marcos victims, higit sa pera, ano yung mensahe?
Ang hirap mag-umpisa Oo, kasi sa dami. Kumbaga gabundok yung sakit, no? Ang akin lang kasi, yung parang magbibigay rin lang pala, tinagalan pa.
Yan naman yung pera Yan naman. Pero siyempre pasalamat, pera din yun. Sa iniisip ko nga, siguro ipapagawa na lang doon sa ano niya, libingan, dagdag doon.
Kahit papano, kahit hindi sa presyente, ay makakatulong din sa kahirapan. Baka sakali mapalitan ng bubong yung bahay namin.
Napakaliit kung ikukumpara sa mga pangyayaring naganap. Pero, yun nga, parang nakakaluwag naman din ang damdamin na yung mga ipinaglaban ay nagkakaroon ng parang prize.
Kasi kung tutuusin, yung matinding pakikipaglaban namin sa panahon ni Marcos, hindi sapat na kabayaran ito.
Sabi nga nung anak ko after all, iyan ba bibigay sa inyo $1,000?
Itong binibigay ng $1,000, ito ay isang takon lang sa isa sa sapatos ni Imelda. Kumbaga, $1,000, merienda lang ni Imelda ito sa New York. Para bang wag mo naman kaming insultuhin. Bayaran nyo kami ng sapat dahil karapatan namin yun. Di ba? Para sa akin, parang mag-fiesta na kami for this. Para bang, hello, this is not enough. Itong amount na to cannot even buy my soul. The pain that, wala. Sige na. Okay lang yan.
Wala din.
Because the 43,200 pesos given each individual to 7,526 claimants may seem small. That's about $7 million plus dollars, no? But in fact, it is part and parcel of the huge plunder, billions of pesos plundered by the Marcos government. It is you as an individual that matters. It is your self-worth, your dignity as a human person, your choice to have joined the movement for democracy against dictatorship. That is what is being awarded, not any organization. And that's very clear.
Ano yung message nito kung sakaling buhay si Father Kang Leon?
Yun sa mahihirap. Na? Ipaglaban kung ano yung tama.
Estudyante ang nanunood, ang mungkahi ko sa kanila, sana magbasa sila. Punta sila sa library, pag-aralan nila, tapos kausapin nila ang mga tao. Kasi ang mga malaking bahagi ng mga lumaban ay mga estudyante katulad nila.
Yung mga simpleng tao na nag-EDSA, yun ang dapat tandaan ng mga bata. Not because who leads the EDSA.
Maybe not under martial law conditions as they were there, but certainly the resources are around, the people are still there, and the problems are still there, the issues are there, some of them new, some of them the same issues, and we all have a part to play. The main message I would like to say about this is that as, citizens, human beings, the most important thing is self-worth. No? You come to terms with yourself, it's so easy to come to terms with the rest of humanity. And that's what it counts, realizing ourselves as human beings and working for a much more humane society. That's the message of martial law.